My wife came home drunk in the morning and told me to stay quiet, but the moment her eyes fell on the woman sitting in my lap and the coffee cup in her hand, time seemed to stop, and in a single moment, the truth came out that changed all three of our lives. The door opened around 6 in the morning. I was sitting on the couch near the kitchen. Emily was sitting in my lap. In her hand was a drive-through coffee. The lid was still warm. I had just turned off the TV when my wife Laura walked in. Her hair was messy, her eyes were red, and she was wearing her jacket inside out. Without taking off her shoes, she said, "Stay quiet. Don't talk right now." I didn't say anything. Emily didn't either. The moment Laura saw us, she stopped right there. Her eyes went first to the coffee cup, then to Emily's hand, then to my lap. Her face went blank, like someone had turned the sound off. If this moment made you pause or feel something familiar, stay with me. Subscribe to hear how quiet moments reveal the truths that change everything. "What is this?" she said quietly. Emily put the cup down. "Good morning," she said like everything was normal. Laura didn't smile. She threw her bag on the floor. "What are you doing here?" I said, "Sit down." "No," Laura said. "Why are you both sitting here? And this coffee?" I said, "It's from the drive-through." "Who got it?" she asked. Emily said, "I did." Silence filled the room. I could hear the ticking of the clock clearly. A car passed in the driveway outside. Everything was still moving, but inside our living room time had stopped. "Are you drunk?" I asked. Laura looked away. "That's none of your business." I said, "This is my house. And you're my wife," she said. "So stay quiet." Emily started to get up, but I grabbed her hand. "No. Stay." Laura looked at me. "Are you kidding me?" I said, "No." She stood in front of the couch. "What kind of game are you two playing?" Emily said directly, "We're telling the truth." Laura laughed. "The truth? You?" I said, "Yes." She turned and went into the kitchen, drank some water, then came back. "So this is what you two did all night?" I said, "No." "Then what?" I took a deep breath. "We waited. From here everything goes backward. Emily is my sister. 4 years younger than me. She moved to the city a few months ago. New job, new apartment. At first she used to come over on weekends. Laura showed her a lot of affection. "You're lucky," she used to say. "Your sister lives close to you." One day, coming back from a Walmart run, Laura said, "Emily has changed a lot." I said, "How?" "I don't know. She just looks confident." I laughed and said, "That's a good thing." Then small things started happening. Laura began coming home late. She kept her phone on silent. When I asked, she said, "Work." I believed her. One night I saw her phone on the kitchen table. The screen was on. A name popped up, E. I didn't pick up the phone. I didn't say anything. Maybe that's where I made the mistake. A week later, Emily said to me, "Laura says strange things to me." I said, "What kind of things?" "She texts me at night. Says you don't understand her." I asked, "Did you reply?" "No." I said, "Good." But it didn't stop there. Voicemails started coming in. "I was drunk," Laura would say. "Don't tell her." Emily saved everything. She asked, "Do you want to see them?" I said, "Not yet." One night Laura said, "I'm going out." I asked, "Where?" "Friends." I said, "Okay." She came back in the morning, drunk. And then that moment happened. Standing in front of the couch, Laura said, "You two planned this behind my back." I said, "No. We gave you a chance." "A chance?" she asked. Emily said, "To tell the truth." Laura looked at me. "You believed her?" I said, "I listened to your voicemails." She went quiet. Then she said, "She doesn't understand anything." Emily said, "I understand everything now." Laura said angrily, "You always take everything." I said, "What?" "You," she said, pointing at me. "Mom's favorite. Dad's princess. Then this marriage. Then this house. Me. I was always second." I said, "So why did you involve my sister?" She didn't scream. She just said softly, "Because she's like you." I said, "Enough." I looked at Emily. "Give me the file." Emily stood up and pulled papers out of her bag. Printouts. Messages. Voicemail transcripts. All dated. Morning times. Late night times. Everything. Laura looked at them. Why did you keep all this? Emily said, because you told me to stay quiet. I said, and I'm not quiet anymore. Laura said, you're leaving me? I said, we're done. She sat down on the couch. I can't believe this. I said, neither can I. I told her I had already spoken to a lawyer. I hadn't sent anything to her mother in the group chat. I hadn't told the kids yet. But I had made my decision. You had a plan? She asked. I said, yes. Since the first time you said, don't tell her. Emily said, I'll stay here if you need me. Laura looked at me. Are you going to expose me in front of everyone? I said, no. I'm just going to stay with the truth. She stood up. Give me some time. I said, you already had time. She walked toward the door then stopped. You never understood me. I said, I trusted you. She left. After that, the days became simple. The school pickup line. Drive-through coffee. Meetings with the lawyer. Emily settled into her job. I changed the locks in the house. The voicemails stopped. A week later, Laura texted, can we talk? I didn't reply. Today I'm not sitting on the couch feeling empty. Emily is back in her apartment. I made my own coffee. I'm quiet but I'm not weak. The truth that came out that morning changed everything. And I didn't hide it. I just sat there and let it happen. If this story stayed with you, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps these real, honest stories reach more people. Thank you for listening until the end, for your time and for being part of this space.